Okay, so this is the Midland Ave Railroad Crossing tour on a New York Susquehanna and Western line. And that's where the New Jersey Transit main line crosses over the New York Susquehanna and Western line. And over here is sort of like a train yard. There's like a little private crossing there, which I'm going to try to do a crossing tour. It's a little crossing with no gates. But that's like I don't think really many trains come through here, especially on a Sunday. But I think it looks like they have like a train yard, like that's where they're loading up trains and stuff. But right here is our first signal. And this is a pretty old crossing. Although the gates are pretty new because it seems like they're hit by vehicles and taken out a lot. Unless they don't have springs here. It's an older crossing. But here we have an old WRF signal base. Some rust here. And then we have an old WRS gate mech. Has highway crossing signal mechanism. That's the old WRS gate mech. It even has an old Braco lock. And older counterweights. This is a pretty old gate mech here. I don't think this crossing is used too often. But this is the do not stop on track sign, emergency sign. And then I believe the lights here are old cast iron WRS lights, as I do know New York Susquehanna and Western uses those. Well, I'm not completely sure as they're not marked. But they are on WRS brackets. And an older crossbuck. So this is a pretty old signal. Those lights are pretty cool. Those are WRS cast iron 8-inch lights, I believe. But that's a pretty old signal right there. Like an older wire. And this gate looks like it's been hit before multiple times. So that has a lot of marks where the gate was ripped off and the shear bolts turned, like as the gate fell onto the tracks. And then there are some like gate light shades, and there's pieces of fiberglass over there. But those are the marks, and it is a pretty new gate, especially since this is a pretty old crossing. And those might be Safetron gate lights, although I'm not completely sure about what type of gate lights this gate has. That's another view of them. And it is a pretty new gate with the new straight stripes. So that's our first signal there of a new gate. So then there's one more signal over there, but that's a pretty cool signal right there. Okay, so this is our second main signal here. And this one has, it's a pretty older signal here. So WCB signal base. This looks a little newer, but does have a WRS gate mech just like the other one, another pretty old one for Braco lock. And the pedestrian gate here is aluminum. Tape here is pretty worn out. Safetron gate up there. It's only white here, it's pretty faded. That's our gate, and pedestrian gates don't have gate lights, it seems like. And lights, both brackets are, one's WC Hayes, and the other is Safetron up there. And they all look like cast iron WRS 8-inch lights too. There's some cool lights. So I hope I get to film it in action. You never know. And then the crossbuck. And then the bell is a WC Hayes mechanical bell. So, it also looks like there's a little crossing here that splits from the New York Susquehanna and Western. But I don't know if it's really used at all, and they probably have to stop because there's no signals or gates or anything, just a crossbuck and a yield sign. But that's the back of that signal. This is another pretty old one. Right there. And there is also New Jersey Transit crossing up there on the main line. I'm not sure that I'm gonna get to. And I am gonna walk over and do that little crossing right there. As I do think it is on a separate control room from this one, which is right over there. But that's the Midland Ave Road crossing tour. Oh, and our main gate here, which is another new one. After this one was also likely hit, you can see right there, where the shear bolts came out, the gate fell off. And there are fiberglass pieces over here, as there was some up here. That looks like part of the gate right there, but that right there, and I also believe that has Safetron gate lights too. But that's the Midland Ave Road crossing tour. And then I'm gonna go walk over here real quick and do this little crossing. As there is also another piece. Here's the control room. So there is a piece of gate right there. That definitely looks like a piece of gate. I was probably hit from over there. But anyway, I think I hear a New Jersey Transit train. This is our first signal. So it looks like it has an open base. I'm not sure what base that is. Emergency info. No trespassing here because I'm guessing this is private property in there. And these are GRS 8-inch lights. It's nice to see some 8-inch lights around here. But I hope to see a train come through this area. More GRS 8-inch lights up there. Safetron brackets, crossbuck, WRS brackets there. And there is no bell on this little signal. That's a nice little signal right there. And then there's another one over here. I'm not sure what base. I think that it's a WRS signal base. And WRS brackets. An old looking crossbuck. More GRS 8-inch lights. See right there. That's so you can see the lights as you're coming out here. This would activate for a train. And a Safetron mechanical bell. But that's this little crossing tour and Midland Ave over there. So that's a crossing tour for this line. And I hope to see a train come through here. But that's all for now.